Hi, welcome to this another lecture on natural language processing course, which we have started recently. Today, I'm going to deal with the structure of document, which is the second chapter. In the previous chapter, we have seen the structure of words in natural language processing, how we can analyze the words. That's what we have seen in the last class, and what are the challenges and what are the different models for the morphological analysis we have seen. So today we are going to see how when we consider the whole document, how we can analyze the document to find a structure. We know that human language is not a random set of syllables, but human language is a systematic, very structured combination of words and sentences. Words combine to form sentences, and these sentences are meaningful and grammatical units, such as a sentence can be a statement, a request, a command, a question, an exclamation, many types. And every paragraph is formed from sentences. Paragraph will have certain topic, and sentences can have relation when we use certain connectives such as therefore, however, furthermore, because, so and so forth. So in this chapter, we are going to see, when we consider the whole documents as an NLP engineer, how we can analyze the structure. In other words, how I can identify the beginning and end of the sentence. Here, when we talk about this task, marking the beginning and end, I'm talking not only about the written text, but I'm also talking about even about the spoken conversation or the speech. Because this structure extraction is very important for many tasks in NLP. Previously, we have seen the applications of NLP where the applications are parsing, machine translation, text summarization, text segmentation, semantic role labeling. So these are certain applications. And sentence boundary annotation, where we find the boundary in even in automatic speech recognition system, organizing and indexing data by changing the given text in to a particular topic or a particular block. So these are the applications. For these applications, we need to analyze the structure of documents. So now we are living in a world where our whole world is over flooded by the information. So we have huge information. Even if you take Facebook app, more than 250 crore people are using the Facebook in the world right now. And even if one person uploads a single photo a day, it will be more than 250 crore photos. And you can imagine how many photos there would be in 1 month and within 1 year. So we have a lot of information, text information, images, videos, so much information. So to analyze this textual and audio document, we want to find the structure. This task where we want to find the structure is known as segmentation task. We'll be doing segmentation in two parts. In one, we'll be finding the boundary of a given sentence, where it is starting, where it is ending. And secondly, given lot of sentences where one topic starts and where one topic ends. Both of these can be categorized as segmentation. So it is sentence segmentation as well as speech segmentation. So at the outset, it may look very trivial that finding the starting and ending of sentence may look very simple, but when you go into the depth of that, really it's not that easy as it looks. So probably, for example, you want to find the end of a sentence. So in English language or any other language, in fact, matter of fact, every sentence ends with punctuation mark, something like period, or we call it as full stop, then a question mark or an exclamatory mark. And if it is spoken text or speech, then there may be pause, we give a pause between two different sentences, and there may be a long pause when there is a topic segmentation or topic change. So sometimes the vocabulary or the words will change when the topic changes. So here will be we call these things as features, like whether a period is there or not, question mark is there or not. These things we call them as features for segmentation. So there are certain challenges for segmentation, especially in some languages. For example, if you take Chinese or typist text, they don't use gaps just like we do. Here the cat jumped. There are spaces, but in Chinese language, there will not be any gap between the words. It will be continuous text, and we have to analyze it. Then that will become very difficult. And secondly, there are certain languages like Tamil or Turkish. Their morphological rich means one word can carry different meanings based on the context. So we are going to deal with this. Firstly, we will deal with sentence boundary detection, which we also call as sentence segmentation. What is sentence segmentation? Dividing the sequence of words into individual sentence, or given a text, identifying where the sentence is starting, where the sentence is ending. So we know that in English language we often have the boundary marks. First letter of a sentence is usually written in uppercase. Then generally sentence ends with a period, question mark, and exclamation mark. But there are certain problems with this method. Coming to the capitalization, not only the sentence beginning, but even proper nouns like a person name, a country name, a company name, it will have an abbreviation. This acronym, this will have what we say, the capital letters. Then, identifying the beginning would be very difficult. Then secondly, for example, there may be a full stop or a period, but we know that every abbreviation ends with a full stop, something like Doctor, Mr., Miss, or sometimes you will have abbreviations like United States that is written as USA, States of America, etc. So on. Then sometimes even numbers, real numbers may have point. We call that as point 3.14. Then there is an ambiguity. For example, here I spoke with Dr. Smith. Here, full stop after doctor or period after doctor is not an end of the sentence. And sometimes it may be end of sentence as well as an abbreviation. Our college is located in Suryapet district. Then here DT full stop or period is an abbreviation for district as well as the sentence. So these are challenges, and not only that, it was rather interesting to find that in the real world, percentage of periods are used more for abbreviations rather than for sentence boundaries. So sometimes when we come to the sentence segmentation, there may be nested segment also, nested sentences. See, one sentence may be nested in another. And secondly, the sentence you can read it here. This year has been difficult on both heads and Elvis, said Charles Finney. Car rental industry. Now here there is a sudden change. Here we cannot find the correct boundary where the sentence is ending. Then quoted speech, people when they use multiple sentences, quotes, then the boundary detection will become harder. So for example, he said, let's go. So somebody may consider let's go as a single sentence. Then that would be a problem. When it comes to the spoken text, then also finding the sentence boundary is quite difficult because uh, though there are no capitalization, no punctuation marks in the audio speech, but still there are prosodic features, something like a pause, high pitch, low pitch, tone, elongation, so this type of prosodic features will help us to find the boundary. And another challenge. So we are discussing about the challenges, right? So what are the challenges? Punctuations may not be always reliable. Then nested sentence is a challenge. Quoted speech is a challenge. Spoken text is a challenge because there are no lexical or punctuation marks. Then noisy or informal text. Nowadays, people are using more and more social media and SMS, instant messages, or WhatsApp, or DM, direct messages. All these things, people are using more and more informal language. For example, instead of happy birthday, they will write HBD, and that will be difficult for the NLP to extract the boundaries. Then sometimes we have automatic transcription. Suppose you have a YouTube video and all the text, we want the transcription. That is available with most of the YouTube videos. That is automatic transcription, and that will happen from automatic speech recognition. Even if you take a PDF document and then convert it into Word, or you copy the text from PDF, that it will use optical character recognition. So when you use optical character recognition system, sometime, most of the times, it will not do it perfectly. You know, it will assume comma to be period, period to be comma, then some letters like F, they will not be copied and pasted perfectly. Then it will be very difficult for us to find the boundaries. Not only that, even in conversational text, when we come to the conversational text, especially suppose it is an online meeting, then finding the sentence boundary is very difficult. And even human language beings, they have dissonances, something like, in speech, they'll be using these type of prosodic cues, not prosodic cues, but there are some dissonances. Then, for example, here if you see, okay, no problem. So, one person may treat it as a single sentence, okay, no problem. Another person may treat it as a two sentence, okay, no problem. So, these are the challenges. Now, let us dive into how we can use this. Let us summarize before we do that. Challenges in written text segmentation, ambiguous punctuation, we don't know. whether full stop is for the end of the sentence or for the abbreviation. Then capitalization, every sentence starts with capital, but even proper noun start with uppercase letters. Then there are special abbreviations like etc. That is, these things are special. So here full stops, they don't mean ending of the sentence. Then if you use optical character recognition, then it will misinterpret punctuation and segment accuracy. And even people are using informal text. These are the challenges in text segmentation. Coming to the spoken text segmentation, the challenge is that absence of punctuation. There are no comma, there is no full stop, there is no capital letter, there is no bold, there is no underline. These things are not there. Then there is a challenge. Then prosodic cues, something like pause, pitch, tone, elongation, loudness, energy. These are not easy to detect. They are there. And as we have seen, people will be having some hesitations, repetitions, self corrections, then that will complicate the thing, task of segmentation. Even spoken dialogue variability, different people will talk in different changes, and there will be abrupt change in the topic, and there will be interruption. Even if you use automatic speech recognition, then the punctuations and capitalizations will be missing. So in the next class, we'll see uh, what are the different models that we will be using for text segmentation. There are two categories of models. One is called local model, another is sequence model. In local models, each boundary will be analyzed in isolation. That is known as local model. And sequence model, each boundary will be analyzed in sequence in the whole pattern. That is one way of doing the things. Then another model is generative model versus discriminative model. Generative models are the models which calculate. This is the local and sequence classification. Generative versus discriminative. In generative, we calculate the joint probability from the base rule. What is the base rule? Probability of y given x is equal to probability of x given y into probability of y by probability x. If any model which calculates the probability from the prior probabilities, it is known as generative model. For example, naive Bayes. Discriminative model, they just calculate the probability directly, not from the prior probabilities. So we will see what are the models: local or sequence, generative, discriminative. So we are going to see generative sequence model, generative local classification, discriminative sequence classification, discriminative local classification. Totally four categories we are going to see.